us today. Thank you for taking time out. I understand you have a flight to catch in a bit, but still being able to come here and spending time with us to talk about the property. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my pleasure.
So I've heard so much about Sabah and places, but more than that, when it comes to this resort, the industry recognizes by Fiona your name, and people say you've been very passionate and you've been here before and you've come back to Sabah out of love, with the love of the people and things around. So what's your calling for Sabah?
I think I've worked in many different countries around the world. I've worked in big cities, in Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, I've worked in China, and I've held big corporate positions before in sales and marketing, where I've spent all of my time traveling on the planes. And actually Sabah just calls me back. The people here are just remarkable. In our industry is all about people. It's about caring for people, it's about welcoming people to our resorts, our hotels. And in Sabah, it's just such a pleasure because it's so easy to work here, because the Sabahans actually by nature are just, they're just so warm-hearted. They welcome you, they welcome us, they welcome me and my family into their homes. And I think when we left Sabah the first time and we moved to China, my husband, my son, we all missed Sabah, we missed the Sabahans, we missed the people, and what not to love, the environment where we are.
One of the things that we have noticed ourselves since we've been around in Sabah for the last couple of days, people are really warm. I mean, unlike which, if you look at the other destination, they kind of lose the sheen over a period of time, but Sabah is very different when it comes to people. And how does that work for you as a resort? I mean, how does that fit in?
People come to resort on holidays. They save up, they spend their money, they come here for special occasions, and I think the overwhelming feedback we receive here is about our people. And many guests comment, your staff spend a lot of time with the guest. And quite often you'll see a housekeeping or a food and beverage person, and they could spend half an hour talking to a guest. And I think many guests find that really interesting. They think, don't they have something better to do? And whilst maybe they do, but actually the most important part of their job is to care for our guests in the resort.
The people's people.
Yes.
So how does it sink in with the entire Rasa Ria resort at this point of time? I mean, I've heard from different tourists when we were around Sabah that Rasa Ria is the place to be at. The people have stayed at different properties, but they say when you're there, it's a different feeling. I mean, every guest, whether adult or child, is made to feel special. Is this coming out of the warmth of the people, or is it the resort, or is it the people? Because Sabah has the same people in the other resort as well. So what makes this so special?
Rasa Ria is, and we're about 25 minutes outside of the city, and we're in our own little ecosystem here. We have over 800 staff in the property, and over 80% of them live within 20 minutes drive of this resort. So we support a lot of families in the local area. A lot of parents now have their children working inside the resort.
Wow.
So we start to foster this beautiful family feeling and connection here inside the resort, and I think that's what makes the Rasa Ria truly special.
Interesting. So tell us a little bit about the property.
Well, the property is set on 400 acres. We've got 3 kilometres of beachfront. We've got 64 acres of a nature reserve.
Wow.
And our nature reserve, we recently, we were most famous for actually rehabilitating orangutans. And within the last 18 months, we've now wound down that program, working with Sabah Wildlife. And we're working on a really exciting project where we're building zip lines. We're building a new adventure play area for children.
Okay.
And we're really focusing on nature. We've got great little nature walks for children where we've got night vision goggles. They go into the jungle and they start to spot animals. And so that's one of our signature selling points. And what makes us a little bit different from other resorts here? We have an 18-hole championship golf course which is wonderful, filled with lots of bird life, families of otters, and so this resort is really, I said it's like its own ecosystem. We've got our tropical rainforest, we've got our resident animals, we've got 800 people, and it's people come here and they just don't want to leave.
So basically, Rasa Ria is a destination by itself,
It is.
right? Your wildlife, your golf, your beaches, your activities around here. Fantastic, actually. So, what are your key markets in the Asian region?
Our key markets at the moment are certainly, we have the Asian market, so we have really China, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong in this area. We also have a very strong feeder market from the UK to Rasa Ria. And the British, they love to come to Sabah. They love the wildlife, the bird watching, and we have a lot of people that come back here regularly to really immerse themselves back in nature, or to just really lie in the sun and get a great suntan.
So, what's a percentage of your repeat visitors, let's say from Asia and Europe?
Our percentage of repeat visitors from Europe is actually much higher at this stage. It's probably around, I would say, 8 to 10%. We have, as I said, a lot of people that have travelled here, once a year, twice a year. They started travelling before they were engaged. They got engaged, and now they bring their families back. It's a really lovely story. I think our Asian travellers, we're starting now to see more frequency from particularly, Hong Kong, China, Japan, Singapore. Particularly these markets, people like to come for golfing weekends. We see a lot of families now travel down, and you've got maybe, father and son and mother and daughter play golf together. Like to spend time on the beach, so they come for a short, maybe 3-4 day weekend.
That's an interesting insight. So basically, the son can play golf, the mother and daughter can enjoy the beach,
or the spa.
Fits well. So, what do you think that Indian travelers should look forward to when they come to Rasa Ria?
I think Rasa Ria represents the best that Malaysia has to offer. I think, certainly the sense of hospitality here. And I think the Indian traveller, like any other traveller, when they go on holidays, they want to relax, or they want choices. They want to be as busy or as active as they can be. So we've got the nature reserve. They can. You can go on beautiful nature walks. We've got a beautiful walk where they can experience a summit breakfast. You climb to the top of our nature reserve and you see these beautiful views at sunrise over Mount Kinabalu, the golf course, the beaches. We've got wonderful spas, bicycles, kayaking, and I think that's what Rasa Ria represents. It's as people can come here and be as busy and as active as they want to, or quite simply they come and do nothing but swim and enjoy the beaches.
Now the key question for the Indian market, how well equipped are you for Indian food?
Oh, there is no better hotel or resort in Sabah for Indian food. We have Chef Shantanu, who runs our Indian restaurant. And our Indian restaurant, Naan, is well recognised to being the number one Indian restaurant in the east coast of Malaysia.
Wow.
Absolutely. Very confidently.
So basically you're well equipped for the Indian market.
Well equipped.
As an experience, you've covered that. With infrastructure, you're covered. With your F&B, you're covered. So it's Indian market ready is what we can say today, confidently.
Very confident.
Perfect. Is there something you want to tell our audience about Rasa Ria and why they should come here? Just to summarize.
I think Rasa Ria is an undiscovered resort destination, and Sabah is not very well known yet internationally and around the world. And I think when people come to Sabah, they must make that 20-minute drive to come out to Rasa Ria to really experience the beach, the sea, the nature, the people, and really immerse themselves in the Sabahan culture. Really, this is a world-class destination.
Thank you, Fiona, for taking time out and joining us. We're looking forward to explore the resort further.
Thank you so much for coming to meet with us, and we are so ready to welcome all the Indian travellers to Rasa Ria.
Thank you.
Thank you.